So if I look at my 15-year career, right, from the move of band 25 to band 30, band 35, I would definitely say the toughest move, guess which one? 25, 30, 35. Tony, you're right. And yeah, 35 to 35 is also very tough, by the way, which will resonate with Mr. Anonymous User and Mr. Aru Ramasamy. But that's a story for another time. But this story, and I hope will resonate with that our target audience, right, which is band 30. And I say it from the bottom of my heart. 25 to 30 is very tough because it was a non-people leader to a people leader, right? And it actually goes against how I used to work. I say used to because I hopefully have changed, or no, I wouldn't say I changed, but I sort of improvise or be Benny 2.0. So the move from 25 to 30 was especially tough because I was in a position where I was a trainer. And what I really like about being a trainer is that I can be so nice and I can be so helpful for each and every one of the team member in the department. And I really genuinely feel that every day when I come to work, I am being liked by, if not 100%, almost everyone in the department. And I gauge that by people coming to me, and once I come in, my hotline, or rather my phone will be the hotline. Like, people will be calling me and I'll be busy throughout. And when I compare with my peer, I can see that they have availability. So that's how I feel that I'm so liked, and I actually enjoy it. When I became a team leader, from the position that I was in, I then felt that I had what I did on hindsight, when I look back, was that I was placing a lot of focus on my team member now. Oh, you know what? I'm a team leader and I have 10 CCPs or specialists that was reporting to me, and I was focusing on that. So at that time, my winning, or rather the way I saw myself winning, is that I want my 10 people to be happy instead of the 50 or the 100 people in the department that I used to strive for or target, right? I did one major event, and I can see Tony sort of smirking, right? And he was actually involved in that process. So that time I had one agenda. My one agenda is that I want to do something that was thought impossible in a 24/7 environment. I wanted to take all my 10 team members to Langkawi, and that is almost unheard of in a 24/7 environment, because there was it was never in history we were able to take one team 100% off the phone again from a 24/7 environment. I did that. The way I did that was pull Tony aside and say, Tony, I want to do this, and I've spoken to everyone involved and they have agreed. So long story short, what happened was that because of the environment and how everyone needs to be on shift, I spoke to the Chinese speaking group and say, hey, can you do this for me? And then later, when you guys want to go for an outing, then we will do this. So how it was done is that it impacted the whole department. They need to do like a compressed week, meaning that in a day they need to do more hours to compensate, or rather to enable my team to go to Langkawi. Again, long story short, when I came back, I had an earful from my manager, because there were grievances from the other team, and how they whether it was jealousy, or whether it was just unhappy, or whether it was grievance, it was there, right? And my manager got an earful. So the way I bring others with me, and the way I define others, was actually within my team, and how I sort of strike the deal with the other team outside of my team is basically almost like pressure because I wasn't mindful for the fact that I'm now a band 30 and I'm speaking to a band 25 and I say, hey, I would like you to do this. Can you do this? And then the natural reaction was that, oh, okay. But once it sink in, then they will be like thinking, why am I doing this? You know? So it was actually an important lesson because it got a lot of people furious. It got my peer because there was I think 6 team leaders that was working with me. They were all unhappy that I did this. My own boss, my manager was unhappy, and the rest of the people that actually saw my transition from a very well-liked trainer to a team leader that is selfish and looking at the 10 people that I report to, or rather, sorry, that the people that report to me. So that for me that was important lesson when it comes to especially bringing others with me, as well as from an enterprise perspective, because for me, right, I was just thinking about me and I wasn't thinking about the whole department, and for that year, I would deem as a failure, right? And there's a lot of things, but that was just one of it, and that was a trigger point for me to say that I can no longer work the way I work and the way I think a team leader should work.